末法时期，世界各地烽火连连，不是天灾人祸，就是战争频繁，无一日安宁。众生每每流离颠沛，难民四处流窜，上天不忍生民涂炭，降到普渡三曹。60年前，大道东传蓬莱仙岛，韩道长奉了师母明命，带了一批充满凌云壮志、豪气万丈的白羊修道人，忍受千辛万苦，突破层层障碍，终能道圆天下，普遍世界各国。
前人刘公，名全祥，字德化，别号春晖，祖籍河北省宁河县人，生于民国前3年6月29日。前人幼蒙庭训，世代以忠孝传家，重礼教，守家规。前人壮年时曾往东北黑龙江一带经商多年，由于信用卓著，声誉很好，事业一帆风顺。民国26年，日军侵华，神州变色，民不聊生。民国34年，日军投降，不料政局不稳，内乱频繁，前人的事业在环境混乱中受苦深居，被迫停摆，生活陷入混沌，流离颠沛。经此巨变，前人乃顿悟人生无常，财产事业犹如镜花水月，过眼云烟，唯有大道绵延亘古。于是立下宏愿，发心度众，效法圣贤，走上修道办道这一条神圣之路。前人自民国30年得遇名师指点，求得圣道后，便闻道不守，认理实修，不断研究道学，力求精进，深知大道宝贵，全权福音。后蒙老前人提拔保举，领受天命，度化众生。民国36年，正当台湾光复之初，大道已在大陆各地传遍，唯台湾宝岛尚未得瞻。前人立下宏誓大愿，奉前贤之命，追随老前人来台开荒下种。在决定来台之时，前人不敢告诉家人，唯恐家人不愿让他走。可是夫人早已略有所闻，便叫稚子前来阻挡。见前人执意要走，更将前人的腿抱住，苦苦哀求，不让前人离开。前人强忍内心的不舍和泪水，狂骗家人：我去天津，你们哭什么？就这样头也不敢回地夺门而出。谁知此一别，竟是一生一世的永诀。
前人初登宝岛，定居在台南，人地生疏，言语隔阂， 故人非常困难，生活极端辛苦，但仍与几位前人积极阐道度众，于民国37年成全了会员大帅，因此引渡了一些任职空军的人员。民国38年，空军部队里有人告密说，前人们正在进行非法活动，于是前人智德大帝、文慈菩萨、承恩大仙及于俊德等5人同时被拘系狱，扣押在台南刑警队里，接受侦讯11天。前人被冠以匪谍之嫌，又兼不泄露3宝，故遭刑囚。囚牢期间，每天遭受毒打，全身伤痕累累。审判人员每天查问，前人坚不招供，便强灌凉水，甚至更用辣椒水灌入鼻孔，被折磨得死去活来。前人的肺病就在此时埋下了病因。前人在受刑期间委曲求全，一切均自行承担，忍耐再忍耐，从不怨天尤人。自云：总有清者自清的一天。后来智德大帝急中生智，捏造3宝招供，才得以结案。最后被送往游民收容所，遂由政府下令遣返大陆。正准备遣送之际，大陆战情吃紧，各省一一沦陷，遣送之行被迫停止，又被转押新竹，监禁了2个多月，才平安归来。经过数次的关考折磨，前人将住所由建国路搬到四维街，未料仍旧关考不断，再次遭人密告匪谍聚集。警方进入佛堂内搜索，吸走善书、讯文及账簿，还将道亲带至开元派出所审讯。前人遭轮番审问，折腾了3个月之久，精神或肉体上承受了许多苦难，难以言喻。前人开荒下种，为法忘躯，虽屡受磨难，但开创道悟的心智丝毫不曾减损。由于前人苦心，上天慈悯，道悟渐有起色，人才逐渐成长。期间度了第1位在台道亲王典传师彩华及学真菩萨，又度化了黄典传师昭智及明成仙真。佛堂里渐渐有了些道亲。前人在台20余年中，仅凭着一辆脚踏车奔驰南台湾，几乎每天往嘉里、 学甲两地成全道亲，披星戴月，奔忙不休，不顾自己体瘦行消，依旧精神奕奕，从未有倦容或怠慢之态。
前人一生自奉圣洁，吃的是稀米饭无油菜，住的是萧墙陋室，穿的是自制粗布衫，离乡背井，境遇拮据。民国40年，崔典传师圣德自军中请长假，奉老前人之命，至台南协助帮办。前人就和崔典传师到嘉义跟一位道亲学做豆干，之后每天5点左右用小篮子装好，沿路走至军人眷区叫卖，即使饥饿难耐，仍舍不得买个馒头充饥。有时喊了半天，没有一个人买，感慨之余，作一诗叹道：晨起提篮皆向川，沿门叫卖无相干。喉咙喝破无人理，徒感筋疲腿足酸。足见前人之辛酸苦楚，及为道牺牲不畏困苦的伟大精神。后来前人和崔典传师改卖酱菜维持生计。民国40年，当时行政院下令，只要身体好的都要回归部队，因此崔典传师又回部队服役。崔典传师离开后，前人卖酱菜的生意只好停摆，而改做起面条，如此断断续续，艰苦地维持着生计，全是为了要度化芸芸众生。
民国59年，道务正上轨道，前人却肺病发作。黄典传师陪同前人几番到肺痨医院检查，又做各种检验治疗，医生并要求定期复检。这期间，前人咳嗽甚为严重，每一咳嗽即震得内脏疼痛难堪，尤以半夜为甚。但前人为避免惊扰旁人，乃强忍着不敢咳出声。后来老前人叫前人到台中较为清静，以便休养。到台中2个月期间，师母曾派人探视前人，病情也稍稳住，但前人总放不下台南道场，时刻惦念，因此病况稍见好转，就急着赶回台南。正当大家欣喜前人稍有好转归来，发心筹建同一坛，以容纳日渐增加的道亲时，前人却突感牙齿疼痛的厉害，到医院诊治。医生要求切片检查，谁知道是罹患口腔癌，前后不到1个月的时间，脸上已长出一颗小瘤。那 那时前人因肺病需要注射营养针，但都被脸上的瘤吸收去，小瘤长得很快，越来越大。治疗期间，上天慈悲，先佛慈悯下凡探视前人病情，并回天叩求老母延其寿。但老母云，她下凡来太受苦了，一定要调回去，况上天需要用她。恩师慈悲灵坛借三才之手，帮前人挤出很多黑血，以消解其苦后才退窍。春去秋来，眼睁睁看着前人受病魔煎熬，后学们却束手无策，无能替他老受苦。其前人见前人如此痛苦，就跪求上天慈悲，解脱其苦。民国61年9月29日下午3点20分，前人他老溘然辞世，奉诏归天。后学们奏师前人，顿时如晴天霹雳，再听不到前人的谆谆话语，再看不到前人的和蔼笑颜。前人未来得及见同一坛竣工落成，令后学们扼腕抱憾不已。前人辞世后未满100日，于福山演训时击笔告知，老母已敕封为大德真君，真是皇天不负苦心人。前人修道之精神与坚贞的悼念，以及牺牲慰众的仁慈，如寒梅一般令人赞叹，令人敬仰，也在后学们的心中立下一个最好的修道标杆。而后前人结缘数次，每次道谈总是对在场的后学都一一呼名，此晚叮咛宛如在世时一般，直扣人心。在场每一位道亲无不深受感动，泪流衣襟。前人虽已归天，但他老的精神将永远留在我们的内心深处，永难忘怀。在前人辛苦播种、耕耘和苦心经营之下，道务更拓展到整个南台湾。台南有同一宫和玉佛宫，冈山道场有慧音堂，屏东道场有慈法宫、广济宫、诚一宫、守中坛、普化坛、义德宫、圣恩宫。台南同一坛于民国63年落成，经过数年的努力，人才辈出，道亲倍增，道亲纷纷发心捐款，兴建大庙。于民国75年，由老前人亲自动土开工。5年之中，在老前人慈悲 指示，各位典传师及前贤道亲用心策划安排，全心全力投入建庙工程。民国80年2月，同一宫完工落成，老前人亲临开光安坐，鼓励大家，有了这样好的环境，要快马加鞭，修道办道。
同一道场自大德真君归空后，一切重任由崔典传师承继，黄典传师大力辅佐。经不断策划推动，及诸位前贤苦心开拓，又蒙大德真君在天之灵护佑，道务日上轨道。有鉴于道务之推动，人才需求殷切，故积极栽培化育，征拔讨选，不但数位典传师接连领命，更造就了不少栋梁之才。嘉里地区因应道务需求，道亲发心筹建玉佛宫。民国83年元月落成启用，老前人亲临主持典礼。台南道务在同一坛扎根，后由同一宫及玉佛宫发扬。于今国内道场已遍及全省，国外道场则有美国弥勒宝堂、天然寺、纽西兰中华圣道院、马来西亚白水圣堂、印尼春晖儒院、柬埔寨大德佛堂、印尼圣德佛堂、澳门临时佛堂，积极开办率性进修班、经典研究班、人才培育班、长青班、青少年育乐营、坛主讲师人才精进班、春晖儿童读经班，以其达到利益众生、潜移默化之功效，以报答天恩师德浩大，老前人与前人大德无边于万一。
大德真君对老前的恭敬之心非常的，老前说一句话没有第二句话。有一次老前说：“哎呀，来信了，我要到台南去看看。”结果这一句话不要紧，我们大德真君就开始，就是每天早晨，圣德啊，我们到火车站去接前人去。每天早晨就去，到中午吃饭，下午再去。接了1个礼拜，前人没有来。忽然间，前人呢坐汽车来了，前人来了，要赶快我到火车站去打前人，结果一前人来了，前人很懊悔，没有接到前人，内心里头非常的愧疚。前人对我们老前人这种精神真是没有第二个。这就是他老这种尊师重道，这种无微不至这种精神。尤其老前人讲话的时候，一就是一，二就是二，没有说对与不对都不说的。有时前人站着以后呢，腿还得打哆嗦。这种尊敬真的无微不至，所以他老这种精神使我们后学心里头感叹前人真的是没有第二。所以你看老母封为大德真君，仙童天下，真是我们恭 做后学的，非常的，我们有这么一个好的前人，跟前人修道，是我们大家的福分。我们更应该效法前人的精神，努力帮办，努力修道。我们做后学的，只有效法前人那种精神，使我们道场更应该推广人人诚心修道，人人诚心办道，这样的呢，才对得起我们大德真经在天之名。
民国61年前人伊喏呢因为阿嬷阮生瘤所以破病呢到阿嬷阮未活的程度老前人来甲伊探病咱大地真君坚持呢要拍大文成甲伊喏顶礼所以伊喏会尊师重道，实在是毋是一般的人做会到的。那前人呢，晚年呢，病魔缠身，所以破病呢，严重破病上场。伊讲父母训主持界互道亲听，嘛是目的为着要宣传道亲，了解老母的心，咱前人。修道办道呢，这种的迄个用心，是咱修道办道的人的最好的迄个模范。前人一生功名磊落，所以道亲出的钱呢，伊虽然讲病重呢，医生警告叫爱住院治疗，前人公私分明呢，唔敢用道亲出的钱。去看病，宁愿在家呢疗养，所以前人呢受苦也唔敢随便用道亲出的钱。前人有一摆某一个道亲带一个别组的道亲来见老人家，所以伊老人家的时阵嘛是鼓励迄个讲道理哦，道亲听，鼓励伊当去跟随伊家己的前人。鼓励所有的人拢真修实练。前人的时阵了后，甲咱这所有的兄弟姊妹讲，咱修道办道唔通贪功，才袂引起大家造成误会乱了佛规。
我们大德真君他老人家对于儒家的思想、儒家的学问、四书五经，哇，滚瓜烂熟。那个道理深得不得了，我受他老的教化很多，所以他老非常了不起。那我们今天受到跟着大德真君他老修道，我们是他的后学，我们处处都要表现。老前人说，所有的修道人之间，你们大德真君的修养是最好的一个。你们去把训文翻来看看，不是我讲的了。这老前人很少薄落后学，在批训直接就给我们讲，你们的大德真君在所有的道亲之间修养是最好的一个前人。
前人漂洋过海，来到宝岛台湾，阐扬大道，为救度圆胎佛子，一生克勤克俭，鞠躬尽瘁，一心只有报恩两愿。前人种树，后人乘凉。今日我们记得宝贵大道，灵性得以就整超脱，一切乃因前人为后人顶劫受罪，恩重如山，难报万一。而后我们当要好好效法前人及古圣先贤的精神，弘扬圣道，继往开来，救度众生，精进不懈，承继前人大志，让前人的基业更恢宏壮硕。
Okay.
Yeah,
so
actually,
I-
yeah, that production was done in Taiwan. Yeah, there's one aspect of it that I'm not so clear about. I thought he came to Taiwan first before Lao Chen.
Yeah.
This
He
one
did.
says that. This
Well,
one says he
it-
came
it-
with.
right.
He actually came to Taiwan
a year
first.
earlier.
A year earlier, right?
Before
Right,
Lao
right,
Chen.
right. Before Lao Chen came.
So,
He came by himself or with a
No,
group?
there were
Other Lao Chen traveling.
there were other Chen with him. The first
First group.
Now it says here was 1972 that he passed away. Now Simu,
Yeah.
75.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
3 years before. Wow.
Yeah, I remember, we were in Okinawa. I remember, I think Mom went back to attend his.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. 72, I don't remember, yeah. So long ago.
40 plus years. 46 years.
okay, so I basically create a slide that, thanks grace of heaven, virtues of masters, grand predecessors, transmitters, and lecturers, and everyone here to give me this opportunity to learn, to speak on today's topic, true sage of great virtue. So this slide I created last week before lecture changed their mind. So I'm just gonna summarize the videos a little bit, and then in the end I'm gonna take one of the Dada Zhenjin's Zen writing in 2008, that which I thought is pretty interesting and important. So true sage of great virtue is our predecessor. So what is predecessor? Predecessor is like our ancestor. Like our family, we have a family tree which link us back to our where our physical body come from. So we can never deny our ancestors. Without them, we were not able to exist. In Tao, we also have our ancestors, our family trees of Tao, which is called the golden tree that link us back to heaven. The golden thread which includes our introducer, guarantors, transmitters, predecessors, grand predecessors, patriarchs, and so on, Maitreya Buddhas and all the saints and Buddhas and God. So predecessor is like our ancestor in Tao lineage. So without them, without their sacrifice, we will not be able to receive Tao. So therefore, we should always be grateful of them. Yeah. So the predecessor Liu, he has many names. His given name is called Liu Chunxian, and then he has a courtesy name of De Hua, and then he has the other name is called Chun Hui. And then when he returned to heaven, God, Heavenly Mother, bestowed him with the title of True Sage of Great Virtue. Okay. And this is where he is born, right here, Hebei Province, Linhe Xian. And he was born in, I think, he was like born in Mingguo, the 3 years before the Mingguo, right? I don't know, I thought, I calculated it's supposed to be 1909, but
09, yeah.
but in some video, I think it was 1908. So I don't know. That's a question mark. Okay. Okay. These are the important dates. He was born in 1909 or 08, June 29 on the lunar date. He received Tao in 1941 and studied vigorously and never slept back. In 1945, he realized life is impermanent. We're going to go into that a little bit later. And then he went to Taiwan to propagate Tao and attained Tao in 1972. September 29 lunar date. So literally was born in, I think it was like upper middle class. He was pretty wealthy. Their family owns a lot of land, and he has one older brother. Later, his brother became a farmer, and he became a businessman. They both were well known in the village as like filial sons to their parents. As a young child, he was well educated by his parents, his father especially, and their family valued Confucius' teaching of propriety and etiquette. He was known as someone who is magnanimous, benevolent, modest, kind, and trustworthy. He has good accounting job and was able to provide to his family a pretty good living. But in 1945, after Japan has surrendered, China was undergoing a lot of reforms, and as a result, he at the time, because he was their family owns a lot of land, so he was pointed out as someone who is like 地主, right? Like a landowner, right? So landlord. So he was persecuted, sent to the concentration camp or something.
By the communists. Right?
Yeah, by the communists. And then, so he realized, I don't know if they forfeited a lot of his lands.
Pretty sure.
Well, it got
Confiscated
confiscated.
by the government. Yeah, probably.
Become a commune.
Well,
Yeah.
1945. That's after Japan surrendered, so therefore it was under the nationalist government.
Because 1949 is when the
Yeah,
communists
nationalist
took over.
government
So
was the communist
there's a
government.
civil war
Yes.
between 45 and 49.
Yeah, Kuomintang
Civil war.
and,
Yeah, there's a civil war.
So he was suffer many hardships, and then he realized that how unpredictable life can be, and a career and wealth is just an illusion, and that can be disappear like a myth. So, and yeah, so that's him. And then he received Tao in 1941, and ever since then he never stopped studying Tao and cultivated vigorously. And about 6 years later, he made this great vow to propagate Tao in Taiwan. And before he told his family, his wife knew about it. So his wife asked his youngest son to try to beg his dad not to go by grabbing his leg tightly. And then he deceived them by lying to them and saying that he was just going to Tianjin, a city nearby, and there's nothing to cry about. And then he just left without turning his head back, because he knew that if he turned his head back, he was not able to leave his family. But it's because there was a war between Taiwan and China, and that's why he can never return back to Taiwan again. And that was the last time he can see his...
China.
Huh?
He never returned back to China.
Oh, yeah. And then that was the last time he saw his family. And then, so in spring of 1947, he got to Taiwan, and he was living in the southern Taiwan. It's called Tainan. Because of the language barrier and his financial resource was cut off from China, he had a really, really difficult life, and and also he had a hard time bringing people to receive Tao too. But he was never, blame anyone, or he slack off. He's just continue to propagate Tao regardless people listen to him or not. And to support his living and the temple, so he took on many different kind of job, such as 摆摊. It's like selling stuff on the street, and then he will get arrested by the police, or he will run errands for people, and later transmit a trade. I think it was by the instruction of.
Wait a minute. I think when he went to Taiwan, at that time he was already a transmitter.
Yeah, he was a transmitter.
He was already a transmitter. Yeah, he already had become a transmitter when he was in
Yeah.
China before he went to Taiwan.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah, he was a transmitter already.
Already,
when he
right.
was in Taiwan.
So later, with the instruction of Grand Predecessor, transmitter took time off from the military to help Predecessor to set up a binker business. They learned this binker business from the Tao King. And then every day they will wake up really, really early in the mornings to make the binkers. And then they will sell it around 5 o'clock. If the days are good, he will finish selling the binkers around 8 o'clock. If not, then he will probably like call out the binker for the half day and no one will buy it. And then he will miss his breakfast, and he, and later that he developed a stomach ulcer because of that too. The reason, and then even though he was hungry and he will not eat the binker because he has a budget that how much he can sell the binkers to support the temples and everything else. Okay, so yeah, so okay, in 1947 he brought this predecessor, later is known as Hui Yuan Da Shuai, to receive the blessings, and because of that, he also. They also brought in many members from the Air Force to receive the blessing. Sorry. And in the fall of 1949, somebody in the Air Force reported to the government that claiming they were conducting illegal activities. So as a result, 5 members, including the predecessor, was arrested at the local police station for 11 days, and as mistaken for spies for mainland China. And then they were forced to disclose the 3 treasures. And then when they refused to tell them the 3 treasures, they will get beat up, hang upside down, forced to drink a lot of cold waters, and pour the hot pepper waters down to their nose. And eventually, that was the cause of him developing the non-cancer tuberculosis, right?
Tuberculosis is not cancer.
No, a non-disease.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so even though he encountered many hardships, he never blamed anyone nor the heavens. And so they stopped interrogating him when one of the members came out with a fake 3 treasure. Okay.
Yeah, cheating.
That was cheating.
Cheating and
Yeah, he lied.
Well, he just gave them the wrong sound.
And then the police found out that they were not the spies, but they decided to deport him back to China. And because the war with the China broke out and many cities were in danger, they had to stop the process of deporting the predecessor. During the time in Taiwan, he was arrested about 5 times. And each time he was treated brutally. He beat up so many times. And however, so he was so even though he encountered so many obstacles, and at the same time he was vigorously followed the previous saints and sages example by dealing the obstacles with calm heart and minds, and never was afraid. And in the end, he was always able to overcome the difficulties. And then holy teacher one time came down and knew that he suffered a lot, so he came down and he tried to make him feel better, and by saying some encouraging words. And he said that in Chinese was like 真道真考古难移，有情无情是根基。美玉金琢方成器，艰辛方能不云梯。It's basically saying that true Tao and true tests are hard to alter since the ancient times. Heaven is testing all our sincerities. Beautiful jades need to undergo process of carving to reach its perfections, polishing. Okay, only with persevering hearts can elevate oneself. And okay, yeah, that's what he's saying. So he had okay. So he has many sickness throughout his life, stomach ulcers, lung disease, and tumor. Before that, he lived a very, very frugal life, frugal and humble life. He ate foods without using oil. He made his own clothing. He would save a soap bar to wash his face and use the rice water to clean his clothes. And he would pick up the vegetables that Tao kings throw away, and then he would wait until they left and then cook them up and then eat it himself. Okay. And for 20 years of him in Tainan, his only means of traveling vehicle was his bicycle, and he would use that to ride everywhere for conducting a class at Tao King's place. And even though if there's is one member listening to him, and he will still conduct a class. And if there's a lunchtime, he will not go in there until past the lunchtime, and he will eat a buns like outside of their house, just so that they don't have to feed him. Okay. And he never take credits of any good deeds that he did, and he will normally take the blames for other people, very often he would self-reflect and bow to repent in front of God for his sins. And then I think that Trina did also talk about one time Grand Predecessor wrote him a letter telling him that he will visit him, but he never told him the specific date or month. During that month, he never told him the specific dates. So Predecessor will go to the train station and wait for him every day. Oh, okay.
Tumor, so that was asked why would he have that tumor? That tumor, well, you find it out later on, I guess maybe from.
Let her do the talking.
The tumor, was it because that he uplifted one of his teacher, who killed a dog, and that dog was pregnant with 9 babies. So basically, that teacher owes 10 lives. And then so when he uplifted his teacher, he had to bear all his teacher's karma's debts. So that's why he has that tumor. Basically he bear a lot of his Tao King's sins, karmas, right? Such as like when they throw in the vegetables out because he doesn't want them to bear like bad karma, so he had to pick them up and eat it, but he doesn't want to eat it in front of his Tao King, so he wait until they leave and eat it himself. Okay. And just show that he was very virtuous person, that when Grand Predecessor wrote him a letter and is telling him that he's gonna visit him, but he never told him that what day that he was visiting during that month. And then so he will wake up every day in the morning and wait at the train stations, and he will wait there all day, every day. And then one day, Grand Predecessor came by car, And then he didn't see that predecessor was there to greet him, and he was mad and he scolded the predecessor, and predecessor did not say a word and just took the blame.
Most of us would make an not an excuse, we speak up.
Justify.
Yeah.
See, it's that's a difference.
So from now on, we keep our mouth shut.
Just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Reducing your karmic debts.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that also does not create karma. Because if you respond, then you are engaged. You're planting a seed. Okay. See, that's
also disrespecting the
Yeah. That's true.
Well, no, but you're supposed to do it like many class said. You're supposed to do it with wisdom, meaning the fact that in front of everybody you don't respond, but in private you can
explain.
Yeah.
Because after all,
And apologize.
yeah, not get up. Because the important thing is that you still are respecting your elder. Because if you do, let's say in public you don't respond, and then now there'll be other people who know, hey, wait, the elder's wrong because he should be scolding, right? So therefore, you want to make sure that the elder still stands, correct in the sense that there was a misunderstanding. He understands that there was a change, because you don't want to make other people think that the elder is constantly wrong. Now, I mean, when they know that this wasn't the situation, etc.
Yeah, no, it
So,
takes wisdom.
so
I
it
agree.
makes them look bad too, the elders, in terms of the juniors. So that's why you need to still be able to resolve that. Okay. So yes, but in front of public, yes, in front of
Yeah, don't
everyone.
do it.
That's why in the Tao we say that they're supposed to do it behind the scenes.
Discreetly.
Yeah, we say 底下. Meaning 底下 means
In privacy.
well, the direct translation is underneath.
Underneath.
like underneath the table.
Underneath the table, underneath the chair.
Like that. But that the whole idea is that you still, however, need to
Just
explain.
explain it
the situation.
nicely.
You're not trying necessarily
Like,
justify, but you still need to explain.
Like, oh, I'm so sorry I wasn't there to greet you because of what happened.
Right.
So from now on, when senior transmitted Jinya with us,
I mean,
that's how we have to do it.
It's not easy, yeah.
Especially you three.
What?
1, 2, 3.
You three.
Hey, Jin Lao Din Chao is talking about 1, 2, 3. That meant you guys.
2, 3.
Anyway, so there's some that highlights that I want to point out that he would ride on his bicycle for 5 hours just to motivate a Dawkins. He would, even though he was a transmitter, he will offer towels to his Dao members. He will give good part of the vegetable to his Dao and fruits to the Dawkins and leave the rotten part to himself. And he always do everything in accord with the Tao, respect the seniors, and patiently guide his juniors. No yelling.
He never scolded.
Yeah.
He never
Yeah,
scolded.
he doesn't. Yeah.
He's a very true gentleman.
right.
Yeah.
君子.
Yeah, he is a very true gentleman.
So when
Remember, transmitter Chen, the female transmitter, told us that sometimes when they were young and they were conducting classes and they made mistakes, even after the class, before he even pointed out the mistake, he would like smile gently to them and very gently brought up the mistake.
Yeah. Not in class. Hello.
privately.
Privately.
Yeah. And when he was sick, I think with the tumor or the tuberculosis, doctor told him that he need to stay in the hospital, but he didn't want to waste his Dao members' money, so he rather stay home instead. And during that time, he never complained. He was suffering a lot, and he had to cough, but then he hold back his cough so his Dawkins would not worry about him. And this is very interesting. So because he was suffering so much and he was sick, heaven sent Saint Buddhas to check on his conditions. And okay. So and also that when the teacher also help him using the hands of Santai, the 3 talents, right, and to force out those black bloods to alleviate his pains. So, and then the teacher did not leave until he felt a little bit better. So and then this, what is this? This Jun-True, I forgot his name. This transmitter or predecessor saw him that he suffered so much, and then he bowed in front of God for I don't know how many bows. Jun-True, right? So he bowed so many times, and after he was finished bowing, predecessor Liu passed away on September 29, 1972 at 3:20 p.m. He bowed to beg God to release his pains and sufferings. And then about 100 days later, Holy Teacher brought him back to the Zen writing, right?
That wasn't that was a training session for the talk.
This.
Yeah, on your video, what's the training session?
Yeah, it's
by
like
the
said in the
talents.
video.
Yeah.
It was a training session. It wasn't an official, union. It was a training session.
Okay.
Just announced his title.
Oh, serious? Yeah, it was.
Well, like no, I'm not talking about that. He.
No, later than they.
Yeah. So, Holy Teacher brought him back, and then even though he attained the title of true sage of great virtue, and so at the time he was a Buddha already, but he still would kneel down in front of grand predecessor to ask for his permission to speak. And then when the grand predecessor allowed him to speak, and he was bow in front of the altar, for his gratefulness. And then so that's basically it. And I read several of his scriptures, so I took one of the scriptures, a small section, and then I did a last minute translating. This scripture is conducted on 2008 July 27, 2008, Zen writing.
10 years ago.
No, that was here.
That was here?
Was it that
Where
here?
was that?
Where was that? It is. I didn't pay attention. Sorry.
Well, you can listen to what it said, maybe.
Okay, so I just took that section and then he said that a birthday marks the day of mother's sufferings. Motherly love is boundless. The hardships a mother experienced during the birth can never be completely compensated. Whenever one remembers their mother's hardships, one must feel shame. How can one celebrate and be happy of their birthday? We, as cultivators, value filial piety. Youzi once stated that in order to be a person, one must be filial. At home, if we are filial to our parents and are affectionate with our siblings, we will be able to respect our teachers and elders in society, as well as get along with all sentient beings. Being filial is the most basic element of moral ethics and the essence of moral teaching. We should model filial piety. We should lead the Tao community and society to bring kindness to our environments. We should diligently study and discuss the classics of filial piety. We should actively practice the concept expressed within the classic. We not only need to be filial to our biological parents, we must also fulfill our filial duties to our Heavenly Mother. And then Holy Teacher and Grand Predecessor emphasize the significance of being read on the 4 books. Because Dr. Zhen is, he grew up with the 4 books and 5 sutras. As we will then have the true understanding of its meanings, the content of these books is the everlasting truth. A true cultivator must be sincere, earnest, benevolent to others, and be able to cherish all objects. These qualities are all proper characteristics of a cultivator. We have to manifest Tao starting from ourselves. Nowadays, the temperament of people is unstable and restless. When Grand Predecessor was alive, he mentioned how we should be aware of our true self. 真人静坐. We cannot be unaware of these facts. We should constantly practice being aware of our true self, despite whether we are walking, standing, sitting, or lying down. All actions can be nourished peacefully when we let go of all thoughts and or without disputes, attachments, distinctions between you and I. Then our heart is truly manifested. Self-desires are completely eliminated. To observe our true self, we turn to peacefulness and tranquility. We must practice this without being lazy. After practicing every day, we are able to build a strong foundation, and our heart and minds will become calm and gentle. Our conduct will not stray away from the proper path and will form a good habit. Our characters will become more stable. When we calm our heart and minds, we'll be able to see our faults and be aware of our mistakes. Since we have set our minds to cultivate the Tao, our goal is to be a saint or a sage. The end. So I thought that is basically 心理心法, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a lot of time, but this is what I have came out with. That the great true sage of great virtue. If I have said anything wrong, I ask all the saints and Buddhas, transmitter, grand predecessors, everybody here to corrections. Okay.
Do the 1, 2, 3 first, so she can
Sit down.
sit down. 3個 and 1 for the transmitter.
Okay. Do we turn off
Thank
the
you,
recording?
Keri. If we're still discussing, yeah, we can keep it on. Maybe have transmitter and the senior lecturers discuss a little further about our predecessor.
Or explain a little bit more of the efficacies of his cultivation.
Well, in terms of, let's see, first of all, it is true that, yeah, you hear a lot of stories about how our predecessors suffer a lot and all that stuff. And that is part of what, Holy He said about Zhen-Shu, Zhen-Tai. To have true cultivation, you will have true tests. Okay. Now, the severity of the test or the degree of testing, in a way, it's also a reflection of your own cultivation. So the more you cultivate, and this sounds kind of a little bit
Scary.
Scary, is in the sense that the more sincere you become, or the more diligent you cultivate, the more severe, sometimes you could call it, the test. Okay, because heaven basically will test you in the sense that they test you to what you can handle. Because heaven will not test you beyond what you can handle. Because if you cannot handle, then what they test you and you fail, what good is it? So the idea is that heaven will test you, but they'll test you in the sense that you still have the I guess you could say the sincerity to overcome it. Okay, you still have it. Okay, because if you don't have it, then there's no need to test you on that. So that's why sometimes when you do, sometimes we do see Tao Kin or whatever, that certain things, happen. Okay, now that said, having said that there's tests, there's also your karma, because after all, heaven does not just randomly, okay, let's test him today, or let's test her today, or tomorrow, or whatever. No, they test you based on also your karma. is basically also your karma, because your karma has eventually have its own what we call fruition, meaning that it will come about. Okay, when time is conducive for the karma to come about, then it'll not necessarily be as difficult as the test itself. Okay, but they take heaven uses that opportunity to make it part of the test too. Okay, that's how I see it now. I may be wrong. Okay, but anyway, it's how I see it. And then so therefore, like I said, it does sound scary that the more sincere you cultivate, sometimes
More
the test,
tests? Yeah.
the harder or the more severe the degree of the testing. And now the thing is this: if you can overcome that test, which heaven, because Saint Buddha don't want you to test you until you fail. What's the sense of that? They hope that you can cultivate. That's the whole point. So if you can overcome that test or pass that test, okay, then we can say your, whether you want to call it merit or your sincerity or whatever, becomes much, much more deeper. Okay, and so therefore you actually gain a lot more. Okay, because remember, combined with that test is your own karmic debt that's in there, right? So if you can overcome that, great, you have less karmic debt. Okay, and you also have now you could say the credibility in terms of heaven's eyes to say, oh, okay, yeah, this person really is a sincere cultivator, blah blah blah. So therefore, heaven will do even more to try to help you succeed, etc. So that's why, like they say, no pain, no gain, right? Okay, so yeah, the greater the pain, the greater the gain. Okay. Now, in terms of sometimes why is it that certain tests or having certain tests eventually results in a short period of time the passing away of the person? Okay. Again, that has also to. You saw from scripture that says, he has suffered too. God has said he has suffered too much already, and that heaven needs him. Yeah, yeah, it is true that heaven may make it sound like to us that there's a reason, so we don't feel so bad. Okay, but sometimes, now I'm not saying that's wrong, of course not. It's obviously there is truth in that. It's just that, however, sometimes with the tests, because as I mentioned earlier, that part of it is your karmic debt that's coming in, and some of it is your test, the test itself. Because as Lecturer Liu mentioned in his lectures, that karmic debts don't come into, or does not mature, until what conditions are correct for it, right? It doesn't just, today, karma comes over and whatever. Okay, if the conditions are not conducive for it, it's hard for the karmic debt to present itself. Okay, so now, so in that case, if you're truly cultivating a lot and doing really well, doing really sincere things like that, it may be harder for the karma to try to get its debt, get it back, because. I can't touch this guy. This guy, he's doing so well, etc. Okay, now, but remember, karma also knows that. Hey, when he goes to heaven, I can't get it anymore. I can't get it back anymore, right? So that's what karmic debt is. Okay, so, and again, I want to say I'm not really saying as a fact, but just my understanding of it is that. That is why sometimes you see very sincere cultivators that they end up getting very ill and eventually passing away. Okay, and that aspect is really the karmic debt that cannot be paid through merits to pay back that merit. Okay, and it, of course, it depends upon the type of karma too, because some karmas are so severe that they require your life eventually, or a person's suffering over a period of time to basically get as much debt out of the way as possible, but it still sometimes the karma requires your life. Because karma's karma. Okay, so we don't know what kind of karma yet. Okay, so sometimes it is true that you will see very sincere people, cultivators or even predecessors or whatever, who end up getting ill and eventually passing away. Okay, so that is why, karma is very scary, and making it more scary is the fact that you don't know what kind of karma you had in the past. Okay, so that's why we do in the Tao, it's encouraged that one still pursues cultivation, because first of all, you try to remove the conditions for the karma to take place. Okay, so in a way that makes your cultivation or your life a little bit more smooth. But on the other hand, because we're still human, so we still make mistakes, so every now and then karma still pops up. But if we do have a very bad karma or whatever, and if you continue to cultivate, then it still will remain smooth for a while, but towards the end, it is possible that, you're still, Dao Kim will get in, have a severe illness, a sense, or a cultivator will have a severe illness or something like that, and then pass away. Okay. So that's the karmic aspect. Another aspect really has to do with, I think, like for example, in the case of our predecessor, who was arrested, jailed, and tortured, right, so to speak, tortured, so to speak. Okay, again, that could be also part of his karma, or also part of the testing as well. Okay. And then in the case of him getting his right, has to do with the fact that how much debt, because how much karma we're trying to bear, right? Because after all, we do have the uplifting, which we can do in the Tao community, and then when you uplift, of course, you have to bear the responsibility or the karma of the person you're uplifting, right? So once you take on that person added karma, it isn't your own anymore, obviously, and even worse, you don't know what that person's karma is really either. Okay.
Also, as a transmitter, you also bear some of the
Of the
demerits and
Tao
karmas of
Right.
people you
Right.
deal down.
Yeah. The higher
Yeah.
the higher the level the status or level you get into the Tao, like transmitters or even predecessors or whatever. Of course, because you do have a responsibility for your followers, and how your followers create karma or not, in a way, is a reflection of the leader or the person in front. And so therefore, that's why I always stress that leaders need to be, first of all, they should stay quiet. They don't should say anything. But the idea is that they need to present them to really be a model for their followers. Okay. In the case of when in the presentation, it was mentioned that, for example, the transmitter would sometimes be the person who hands you the towels, for example. Okay. So and he doesn't scold his followers, etc. The idea is that, of course, as a person in front, you need to understand where you are, the position you're in, and be responsible for it. Because if you're not responsible for it, then you do anything you want, and that's chaos essentially. And so, therefore, if you understand where you are, you need to understand the fact that you need to lead by example. Okay. So therefore, the idea of handing towels. I mean, why would one would ask, well, why would he end up handing towels in the first place? Okay, because his other Tao King, his followers were not aware. Maybe that's the propriety that you need to do. So instead of now, you can say, well, he could have taught them. Well, that's true. There are times you could talk
to show his humbleness.
Yeah, but also the fact that yes, it in a way is, like I say, it's a reflection of your own character, it's a reflection of yourself. So therefore, he does things by setting examples as opposed to maybe teaching as much. Okay, because after all, when we talk about filial piety, I remember one transmitter was talking about the fact that he was talking about filial piety. He was doing the class on filial piety, and he's saying that when he was young, he saw his father, wash the feet of his grandfather, because that's a way of trying to give. And then he says with that, he really learned more about filial piety than through what he learned in school or lessons or whatever. Yeah. So it is true that once you set things up through example, you do get a greater effect on the people around you. Okay, so that's why what you say, what you do, is very, very important because everybody's looking at you because you are, especially if you are happen to be a person standing in the front. No, it doesn't matter what's standing in front. Just you standing in the front. Because you could be, anybody really, a 讲师, whatever, it doesn't matter, leader of a group of people, or Pennsylvania, whatever, it doesn't matter. So the idea is that it isn't just a question of just, only the people at the very front or the very top needs to do this. It's actually everything down. And it isn't actually said pretty much in the, if you look at the, I have to admit, that was, I'm glad actually, I finally realized that, during that time it was a good idea that I had to actually learn about the 15 precepts. Because I've heard of it before, because as a lecturer already, I should have already known about it, because, but since we didn't go through a formal training, so therefore I heard about it and said, okay, this must be some rules and regulations. That's all I knew about until when we had to do that class, and I actually, sat down and went through every one of them, and I realized, especially when the book that I used, which is, we don't have an example here, but anyway, it's a fantastic book in my opinion.
In English?
Well, I've almost finished.
No, it's not
I have
in
no, it's in Chinese, but I've almost converted all of it to. I got about 90% of it done in terms of converting to pinyin, and then hopefully from there we can do a translation of it. Okay, it's basically, it's the one that. I don't know, it's the one that happened to have when they say, you have to do this class. And I said, okay, where's the
15
material?
rules. 15 rules.
Because he talks about the true meaning behind the 15 precepts. And honestly, when I look at it, I go, wow, that's when I realized, man, this is just like Xingli Xingfa. It's no more than learning Buddha nature. I mean, it's fantastic. It's basically what a holy teacher explained. Because the title is the 15 precepts, the true meaning. The true meaning of the 15 precepts. Okay.
I think I have a short translation of them.
Okay, well, anyway, I basically converted almost all to pinyin, so this way I can, because first of all, I had to learn it, and I didn't know what it was. It was all Chinese.
It talks about internal.
Yeah, it talks about internal. Because that's a true, that really is the true meaning behind. Because on the surface, we say, we need to be polite, we need to say good things, we need to conduct ourselves properly, through propriety and all that stuff. But
that's very basic. Because most of us see it from the outside.
Right.
But then at the higher level, you should understand the 15
meaning
precepts
behind
also
it,
deals with internal.
Right. Yeah. And it really is like Buddha nature class. When I was there, I go, wow, this is fantastic. When I kept reading. So anyway.
So you're going to translate it for us?
Well, I'll definitely make an effort to translate it. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Jin, you should go do that for your next class assignment.
Okay.
Why me?
But anyway, continuing on, basically, So therefore, if we can truly understand, sometimes we say we have to understand our position, where you are, because if you haven't really understood where you are, then it is very easy for you to have misunderstanding or confusion. A good example is this. For example, let's say when we're bowing, well, the translator goes to the front, but everybody else, you first, because they're saying, I want to be humble, I want to be modest, so you go first, right? That's true, but that's really only outward expression of it. It's not really, because, what holy teacher would have said in this case, he would say, I think he would have said, is that, hey, you're humble now, right? And then during a regular conversation or whatever, are you just as humble? No. And in most cases, it will be no. Okay. So therefore, that's why, sometimes also it's important to know your position, because just by looking at the people around you, you should be able to tell who is your senior, who is your junior, number one. Okay. And then because you've been, especially when you come often, that is, if you don't come often, of course not. But if you know where you stand, or where your position is with respect to seniors and juniors, then you would know automatically where you should be bound. You should automatically know. Because if you don't know that, then truly you don't understand who's your junior and who's your senior. Okay, so that's why, you shouldn't even have people have to say to you, oh, please move forward now, because if you truly understand where you are, who your junior is, and if you truly can understand who your junior and senior are, then that then determines how you conduct yourself in terms when you're relating to them. So if you don't understand that, then you relate to senior and junior like anything, right? So that's why also, and that's part of the 15 precepts, which is part of internal cultivation. Okay. So anyway, so getting to uplifting, bearing more karma. So you will probably get more severe, tests or not tests, but injury. And sometimes, like I said, depending on the severity, it can sometimes require your life, and sometimes it does not. You just come out of it. Okay. Now, sometimes we say, hey, wait a minute, heaven sometimes give people extra extend their lives. They extend their lives or whatever, right? But why can't you do that? Again, heaven works with what? I mean, what does heaven not interfere with? And that's karma. Heaven does not interfere with karma. Heaven can work with karma, but work with karma in the sense that sometimes, they can,
They negotiate.
using your merits.
Using your merits.
Yeah, but they have to use your merits. They can't use, because if heaven says, oh, okay, we can use Buddha's merits now, then it's very much like what the Christianity says, oh, I just believe in Jesus Christ and all my sins are forgiven. Same thing. And then you could do anything you want, right? So therefore, again, the law of causality requires that heaven still must work with karma.
No,
You cannot bypass.
Buddhas cannot change one's karma.
No. Like I said, they can only work with your karma.
Negotiate. We say
Work with
negotiate.
karma. Because sometimes,
They cannot eliminate an individual's karma. That's what.
Well, it's hard to say that. Yeah, because again, it depends on your karma. Because sometimes we say Buddhists have said sometimes your problem, you may think you have a big problem, but it's really already a problem that's less than what it was. Because why? Something had happened, to make that karma more easier, if you will. Okay, not as hard. So in the sense that if you all you did in the past was just done some petty stuff, minor stuff, it's possible that through cultivation your karma can be eliminated in that sense. Okay, but we have, like, according to Bodhisattva, or no longer Bodhisattva, Gufu. Not like Gufu now. She's now Buddha. We have over 60,000 years of karma, most of us. Okay, I mean, it accumulate karma, right? It isn't to say that it's all the karma, okay, but it's accumulated, and so therefore, that's a lot of karma. That's a lot of karma. We don't know what happened, right? Okay. Now, of course, not all of us was around 60,000 years ago. Whatever, we started out with a few people and ended up with a lot of people, right? But the point is that, for some of us, maybe we were 60,000 years ago. We were here, so
recycled.
We recycled over. So therefore, we would have 60,000 years of karma. For most of us, maybe not, because again, population increase, etc. Okay, so all right, so that's about his karma. In terms of another thing about hardship, that's very important, because it's true that as people, humans, we do become, if you will, more, how do you say this? Resilient. Yeah, we do become more resilient.
Resilient, not resilient.
Seriously, resilient. It's S-I-L-I. Not Z-I. Okay. So therefore, we actually, like the song says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
You know about that song?
Okay. To a certain extent,
I sing that all the time.
That is true.
You sing it all the time?
No. I just heard of it.
You say that's true?
No, that's true in the sense that, it is through hardship that we as humans do become more stronger. Yeah. And only but again, it only comes down to the degree of hardship that you receive. it can be so hard that you just give up. Okay, that's why you have suicides and all that stuff. But in most cases, tests does help you become stronger, more sincere, etc. So in that sense, having tests, and that's why heaven does use tests, and heaven does use tests to the degree in which that you can accept or you can handle. You can handle. They won't make it so that it's overcomes you. That's why, that's why it's true that sometimes, when Tao King said, okay, when I get hardships and all that stuff, I thank heaven for it. Okay. And it's true. There's truth in that. Because if you can be thankful when you get hardships, okay, in a way, it's not trying to say, oh, heaven, give me more. No. But rather the fact that they're helping you to try to make you improve. That's all.
This is part of the whole.
Yeah.
You can say the process of cultivation is you're going to encounter, we say difficulties or tests or whatever, obstacles, whatever. That's called refinement, right? Because only through, let's say, quote unquote obstacles that will prove whether or not we've learned it or we've achieved something, right? We've learned something, right? We've achieved something, or we progress. We made progress.
Rise
above it.
Yeah. So that's proof of progress, right? I mean, that's because everybody, can say, oh yeah, I cultivated enough, I'm above it. But if you have no tests, where's the proof, right? Where's the proof? It's just your word versus somebody else's word. It's just your, right? There's no proof.
The test is
no
to see
evidence. No evidence.
if you have passed or failed.
To a certain extent, yeah. Or mainly to just let you know that whether you have this persistence, this full hope. Okay. Like the poem that you wrote, and also the common terms we say, a diamond in the rough has to be what? Carved and then polished to really become a diamond. A diamond that you can appreciate. Same thing with the jade, etc. So therefore, there has to be refinement. Okay. And because sometimes the tests are tests to try to also redirect you in the correct path sometimes. Because sometimes, not all the time. Okay. And so
it can also make you go the wrong direction.
Well, like I said, it
depends on how well you pass the test.
Well, again, exactly. It comes down to your wisdom. So, but again, from heaven's standpoint, when they do test, it's not to have you fail. Okay. Now, of course, it isn't just heaven sometimes that is testing.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be the other way around.
Right,
yeah.
Correct.
It could be Asuras. It could be Mara.
Right. And so, and in those tests, there's less of a control in a sense, and so therefore, again, I think those tests, if it's not just from your karma, if it's something that's from heaven, then it's still in a way manageable in which you can overcome it. Because if it's just your karma testing you, you can have that case where it's just your karma. Okay, then I admit there is less of a control, and so therefore, you could fail or succeed. Right.
We have to use our wisdom at that point.
Yes.
You tell yourself, this is a test. I now learn.
Well, you could say that. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's hard to tell whether it's from karma or
right.
the tests are from
There's
heaven.
no way.
So just take it graciously.
Yeah, right.
And just
That's
be
the important
thankful
thing.
because
just accept it.
When this play out, then we have one less karma.
Yeah, you can look at it that way.
Yeah.
And then also, this is the way to help us, or help. Heaven is using the test to really determine our 果位. It's not that we are really, fixating on the 果位, but that's one aspect of
our level of achievement.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So when you do encounter hardships and all that stuff, it is important. It comes down to
tough, we would blame heaven. We would, curse heaven or curse people or curse our fate or curse karma. It's tough. It's tough. So be better. That's why I say
don't blame anybody.
No, that's why our temperament. We have to be careful. All that stuff. So that all boils down to how well we understand. How well we understand, or ourselves. Right. So it's not easy. I agree, but it all boils down to that. So that's why we have to get rid of our bad temper, right? Bad temper, bad habits, right? So if we could get, or at least control or whatever, then it'll be less likely that we just will curse everybody, curse heaven or blame heaven or blame everybody. You know, it's not easy.
A true cultivator shouldn't be blaming anyone because, like you said, we don't know how long we have been here and what is all accumulating karma. So we should just accept whatever comes.
Accept it happily.
And
happily.
don't even think about or try to equate it with one thing or the next.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah, when you do encounter karma, yeah. I mean, first, the important thing I think is really just to accept it as it is. In other words, it's just a hardship that you're encountering. Okay, you have to recognize that. But now, whether you want to be happy about it or not, I don't know. Okay, because sometimes that's not something you would really be happy about. But you accept it for what it is. Okay, and then second part obviously is not really to blame that on anything else. I mean, if anything, like Holy Teacher said, a lot of our own hardships are due to our own karma, which that we don't know because we can't see our own karma. So therefore, we have no idea. Okay, so therefore, just accept it as it is, and accept it as something that you just need to overcome. That's all. Okay, but I have to admit, it is very difficult to do that because you're in the middle of getting pains or whatever. It is very difficult to try to, or headache. You know, I mean, when I talk about hardship, it isn't just physical pain, mental as well. Okay, so therefore, if you can just accept it as it is, that okay, yeah, I'm just in this situation. Okay. Second is the fact that okay, I just need to make sure I have, I can not, how do you say it, not really be defeated by it. Okay, to say that okay, yeah, I'll just do my best to try to overcome. Now, whether you actually can overcome or not, you have no idea either. Okay, so therefore you just work through it. Just try to work through it as the best you can. But the most important thing, according to what the Buddha says, is the fact that you need to maintain a positive attitude.
Yes,
that's very important.
Very important
because
thing.
Holy Teacher constantly stresses that yeah, you need to have our mental state has to be always looking at.
That's the best medicine.
Yeah, that's
not the pills that you have to take or the chemos. It's your mindset.
Yeah, because that's the thing that will help you overcome the hardship that you will have. Okay, so regardless whether it's a karma or a test, you still try to maintain a positive attitude towards it. Okay, and I don't want to say, oh, you fool yourself thinking, oh, it's going to be better next day, or no, you have to. But the fact that just know the fact that if you do your best, you will be able to overcome it as much as you can. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, because like I said, sometimes your karma requires your life, then all bets are off. Okay, but you still do it as best you can. The reason why is this: if you can maintain the positive attitude, especially during hardships, it allows us to be able to do what? And that is to learn how to po xiang, to look beyond
the forms,
right? And that is really one of the things you are required, really, when you leave. Because think about when you're leaving, you have to leave your body, and your spirit will say, "Hey, no," right? Okay, so that's why the po xiang is part. And again, po xiang is part of the Buddha nature class, right? That's what. Okay, so therefore, the idea of looking beyond form is very, very important. Because ultimately, that's what you have to do. You have to leave all forms behind, ultimately, right? So to be able to help you look beyond the forms, okay, is also a way of when we look at positive things. Because after all these things are happening, what? Because you have what?
Form.
A physical body. You're here. You're suffering. Blah blah blah. Right? You're not a ghost or anything, right? So therefore, yeah, it can help you also look beyond forms. Okay. So that's why the positive attitude is very, very important. Okay.
A lot of people, when they get sick, they crawl into bed and cry from morning to night. They won't eat, they won't sleep. That's what a lot of people do. A lot of the cancer people are. That's all they do because they cannot believe this is happening to them. They feel sorry for themselves, and yet even though you tell them you gotta have a positive attitude, but they can't do it.
We know most of the time that people will say, why me?
Why
this
me?
happened?"
Why me?
And,
Yeah.
and then when they pass away, say, how could God? They always blame heaven. They say, oh, I go to church every Sunday and I do this and I do
Yeah.
this. Why did this happen? And things like that, because they don't understand.
And sometimes, especially predecessors or transmitters, they die unexpected death. Like die prematurely, very at a young age, or from calamities. One way to look at it is that they have, they are kind of setting up or fulfilling the karma and the cost of life, but they are able to really keep all the merits. Sometimes their life can be extended, but this is extended due, their merits. So everything is, whether we want the merits or the virtue, or we want to have the life extended.
Right. Yeah, it's because I mean we most of us wants to make sure that we live a really full life. Okay.
Also, how our quality of life
course,
is.
quality of life is over.
You don't want to be extended if you're in a wheelchair 24/7, right?
Well, again, but people, if you have a positive attitude, it really doesn't mean, it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, we have to sometimes. Oh, they're doing fanta. Okay. Yeah, sometimes we have to be a little bit careful about when you do. If you happen to be the beneficiary of people say, we're going to extend your life. You really, really have to be careful about that. The reason why is this. It is true that it depends on your, I guess you could say, your cultivation. Because if your cultivation is truly very, very, we say proper, Zhen, very proper, genuine, etc., and you are really helping a lot of people, then one can see it as it is something that heaven wishes for you to continue your efforts, right? Now, another way to look at it, however, you have to be very careful, is the fact that sometimes heaven will give you that benefit because you can be a person who's cultivating but also have Malvin Pichi or what we call it, what we say in English for Malvin Pichi?
Bad temperament and bad
habits. Right. Okay. And the reason why heaven is also sometimes giving you an opportunity is because the fact that they want to give you the chance to change that.
It.
Now, if you don't realize that hey, I'm now giving more chance to whatever, because that is a part of what? Inner cultivation, right? So if you don't realize that, and you continue the way you are, once that time is up, because eventually it will still come up, before it comes up, you probably would have created more
karma,
bad karma, etc. And therefore, when you leave, because you may have a lot of merit. One thing about merit is the fact that we go out and get people to receive the Tao, or you perform charity, you form that. All those merits are usually it's to try to help you do inner cultivation. It is true that is all outer cultivation, because it's all things that these things have form. Okay, but the whole purpose of doing outer cultivation, well, not the whole purpose, the only reason I would say of doing outer cultivation is the fact that it is to try to trigger you to do inner cultivation, because you need to understand why are you giving charity, why are you helping other people, why are you doing it? Okay, because we say we do it because it gives us merit. No, that's not the reason. That's not it. Okay, because that's all only on the surface.
That's conditioned mind.
Yeah. But it's to try to help you do inner cultivation. That's why when, again, back to the 15 precepts I was reading or studying, the first precept that teacher was explained literally everything. Once you understand the first, there's no need even to talk about the second to 15. Because right there, that first, and that's why it's the first. Right there, that is truly Buddha nature. Okay, because if you understand this first one, all the other ones, it's automatic.
Yeah, they
That's
follow.
why.
Yeah.
That's why you don't need to even discuss it. It's automatic.
It's always the first one that's the most important.
That's right. So that's why the first
Well, you
one.
start at the essence.
Yeah,
You start
and
with the essence.
right, and when and the
Core,
teacher
whatever.
gives a very good example. He goes, he uses the like I mentioned last time, the Yan Hui versus Zhen,
真子
the two disciples of Confucius.
Yet both are considered sages.
Yeah, and yet one is a higher sage who outwardly did almost nothing. He
Yeah,
was just a
that's what I'm saying.
cook.
What's
He
his
just assistant,
contribution?
help,
Yeah,
doing
people ask.
in
doing minor errands
no
and all that
contribution.
stuff. And
He didn't contribute
and
anything to
where
society.
the other one,
He didn't.
in terms of society, well, he helped royalty, he helped people, yeah,
Zhenzi,
right.
that's
Yeah.
Zhenzi and Zhenzi and Yan Hui.
Yan Hui.
Yeah, Yan Hui.
And Yan Hui also died much earlier than Zhenzi.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. Much
And so
earlier.
even though teacher says, hey, because one stressed inner cultivation, one stressed outer. Okay, it is true. Both are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
yeah.
through
They're both
outer,
cultivated.
you can get to inner.
Inner.
You can understand the reason why you need inner cultivation. But through inner, you will know what you should do on the outer. So that's why they're two sides of the same coin. So that's why you need to have both. You can't just say, oh, I just stress one or the other. Okay, you may want to choose which one you want to do first. Okay, that maybe it's okay.
Well,
I think we should do it
simultaneous.
together.
Well, it's
yeah.
simultaneous in the sense that, you first have to
It's better
learn
simultaneous.
about it, and then you
Yes.
do something, and then you reflect, and then you learn again, and then you. So it's a
Because
basic
you just
cycle,
focus on it.
right? So, and the point thing is the fact that inner
may not live that long.
because inner cultivation stays with you what always.
Always.
Because if you change your
Eternally.
temperament, whatever, because think about it, did our temperament come from heaven?
No.
Did our mouth, did our anger or whatever come from heaven?
No.
People say, well, in that case, heaven's no different than earth, right? Okay, so therefore, it is something that you pick up when there's form, influence of form.
Yeah, in
Okay.
our
Yeah.
Past
60
life.
plus
Right.
thousand years.
The influence of forms, right? And so therefore, if you can manifest or cultivate very well your inner, then that will stay with you, regardless of in what environment you're in. Okay.
Condition.
Yeah, because it's like saying, I used the example of lecture Du's, his presentation on life. He says, oh, every day he meets his coworker who he really can't get along. He faces him, they sit next to each other, facing each other. And so therefore, it's very hard. But if he can overcome that, then it doesn't matter whether that person is sitting
the
over
external is no longer relevant.
Right, it's not
Because
relevant,
you
right.
are.
Yeah.
So,
did he overcome
but now if you say, however, oh, I will come through. Okay, I just don't meet that guy. It's true. When you don't meet that guy, oh, you're always happy.
But it's
You're always,
subject to
you don't
condition.
your
That's
your
condition.
heart has no
That's
and
still
no like dislike or anything like that.
That's also a test from heaven for him.
Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah, it could be. Anyway, the point is that. But then, when you change the environment, it's true that you can be a very good person, whatever. But what happens when you meet that person again?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So the
you can't
environment,
avoid them.
external conditions
Right. So the
are
form
not fixed.
aspect, right?
Ah,
So the form aspect is the outer cultivation aspect. So the outer cultivation aspect, again, it's in that case you may end up disliking that person, and when you see that person, just or mention of that person's name. But if you truly have inner cultivation, if you overcome it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just
No matter
have
the
to learn to
condition.
love
Right.
this
No matter how
guy.
the
Right.
conditions
Yeah.
change.
Whether you love him or not
You're
doesn't matter.
still
But
unaffected.
I guess it has no influence on
So
you.
that's
Yeah.
why inner is
Right.
more.
Is that
Right.
now or in the past?
It's,
It's happening to
It's
him
better.
now.
It's better.
Well, it was
That's a
in the
better
past,
way
I
to
think.
say.
He used to use that story. But the important thing is this, that's why Yan Hui, who all he did was emphasize or study,
Well, he focused on
focus
internal
on
first.
his-
He does focus
And
on
again, you do that now. It's not to say, oh, okay, a person should do both immediately. No, again, it depends on your condition because you have to understand Yan Hui's position. What was
Yeah,
his
that's
position? He was impoverished.
Well,
Yeah, he was poor, whatever. And so therefore his condition, he also realized that fact that, okay, this is what it is. And this is the
He
reality.
accepted, yeah.
So therefore, what can I do
right.
in this situation
Right.
to try and prove himself? And therefore he had to emphasize it.
Inner,
I mean,
yeah.
you can say, okay, you could say, oh, he should go out and study, go to college, and get a degree, get a good job, and make a lot of money, so he can give charity. No. Instead, he did that. Now, Zhenzi's situation is what? It's totally opposite. Zhenzi is what? a real rich guy. He has a lot of money.
He came out a good background.
Yeah, he has a good background.
Good education.
Yeah. In fact, he tested.
He knows a lot of people,
Yeah, right.
a lot of connections.
Right, right.
So therefore,
in his position,
in those conditions,
yeah.
it's easier
for him
to do more power stuff, right? Because
Or to start with that.
right,
To start with that. Right.
It's easier.
Yeah. So it's not to say you do one or the other. You have to look at what you are. And also, remember, Zhen also tested Yan Hui by giving him a piece of gold on the doorstep.
He did?
He's like, oh, heaven has seen how heaven has seen how impoverished you are, what or something like that. And so I've given you this piece of reward.
And what did Yan Hui do?
And
he threw it away.
No, he didn't. He replied. He replied.
One of his classmates lost something, and they kind of
blame
Yan Hui because he's the poorest.
Right.
But Confucius did not want to, come to the conclusion,
and
make that burden.
Right.
So I think he asked someone to put, gold.
The gold.
Oh yes, test.
To test it.
And they said if this is something
trap
for you because of your good whatever. And then he wrote a reply.
What did he write?
He said,
Yan Hui is smart, really. I mean, that's
Basically, it was
wisdom.
Yeah, it wasn't his to accept.
To accept it.
Even though most people would say, hey, I find it, find his keepers. Find his keepers.
He wrote the fact that he goes, the reason why he then felt it was his to accept, he goes, well, heaven had put me in a condition of what? Impoverishment. Why would heaven put me in impoverishment if they're going to give me a...
Capitalism would disagree with that.
That's another test that he had to
It's a test of
That's dumb. That's dumb. Capitalism would say, that's dumb, man. You found the gold, it's yours, man. Capitalism would say, that's dumb.
Yeah, so that's why, So he relied on his wisdom, and he relied on accepting the condition that he was in.
That shows the level of cultivation that Yan Hui, or
sincerity
means that he really understood what the true meaning of life is. It's not wealth, okay? It's not finders keepers, okay? see that shows the level of his cultivation, or his at least understanding of the Four Noble Truths, okay? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So especially when us as especially the younger generation in college and all that stuff, because it's true that we can have aspirations. Yes, we want to be such and such, whatever. Now, our karma will influence us whether we can actually achieve that or not. Okay. Now, it isn't say, maybe it's not my fate to become a doctor or an astronaut, whatever. And that's the real karma. But by cultivating and whatever, heaven will help you with. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that heaven will help you achieve so long you're cultivating sincerely and all that stuff. But what is fated in your karma is still there. It cannot be changed. Okay, it can be influenced, but it cannot be changed. So therefore, yes, you can have still aspiration on that. But you also, like I said, that mental attitude is very important. The fact that sometimes when you cannot achieve it, you can say, wait, if I don't achieve it, should I just give up? No, because you can say, look at our government, Sun Yat-sen, who he fought the Qing dynasty for 10 times, and he all failed. And then on the 11th time, he succeeded. So I said, does that mean I should?
Yeah.
He's persistent.
Yeah, he's persistent. Yeah, but so so there is some credibility to persistence. That is true. Okay. Yet at the same time, though, you will reach a point where you have to use your wisdom, of course, to realize that this may not be the way it's not meant to be, right?
Wow, 11 times.
Yeah. On the 11th time, he succeeded. He revolted.
Tested that, what do you call that for the light bulb? Edison.
Yeah, Edison.
More than 1,000 times.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So So the question comes down to, well, should you be really persistent, or should you just
give up?
You just change your mind?
But
would it be
there's
waste of
interplay in
time?
karma too.
So you have to.
And that requires a lot of wisdom, because it is true. Because some people say, hey, the mountain's blocking my way. Some people say, dig a tunnel. Other people say, walk around it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So both will work.
Right.
Eventually, both will work.
Right.
But again,
so it's not.
Sometimes you need to still, however, use your wisdom, and that is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Especially for you young guys. It's very, very difficult.
So how do you go about by saying that your fate can be changed?
Your fate can be changed in the sense, again, so long heaven is able to work with the karma. Okay, so long with the work.
It
Because
depends on how sincere you are
Right.
in your cultivation.
Yeah, if you're truly sincere, definitely there's more
Yeah.
sincerity or there's more help from heaven. Okay, but again, your karma is still your karma.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I mean by worker is the fact that it is not all karma would say, okay, I require that you die, suffer and die. Okay, not all karma. Okay, but hard to say. Okay, but the point is that because heaven can work with the karma, work with it. Okay, through your merits. That's for one. Okay, and through your sincerity and cultivation, etc. Okay, then even though it is hard to achieve something, you can still achieve it. You can still change your fate. In other words, okay, all right.
Look at transmitted Jin.
Well, yeah. There are two ways of looking. Well, not two ways. But there's another way of looking at it. It's this: if people say, "Oh, I really want to change my fate," one thing can be, in general, can be said is pretty useful or applicable. Is that as long as you are willing to do heaven's work or do good things. Let's just say do good things. That's broader, as opposed to do evil things. Then it's more likely. I'm not saying absolute. Okay, there's
not guaranteed.
Yeah, not guaranteed. More likely that you can change your fate as long as you're willing to do more good things. Now that doesn't mean guarantee 100% that you can change your fate, because the other side of the ledger is our karma. How heavy, how much karma we have, or how severe our karma is. Get it? Okay, because you cannot leave that out of the equation. I mean, that's karma also plays the other side of the equation, right? So one you can say is you have control. You can say pretty much control, right? Because you can say, hey, I'm willing to do good things as opposed to do bad things, okay? And then the other side is hard to control is your karma, because karma existed, your previous, and you don't know how heavy and bad the karma is. But at least if you add it all together, just sum it up, if we are willing to do good things, even if, let's say, we are not able to change our fate because we have bad karma, at least you can use that to offset the karma, and therefore you get rid of that. Okay, I mean, not get rid of it, at least offset, so that in the future, there's less bad karma, right? At least, okay? So that's how you could look at it, another way to look at it, all right? So the key is, yes, karma exists, and depends, and it could be heavy, it could be a lot of stuff, that's coming into play, whatever, so that even if we do good things, it may not necessarily 100% change our fate. You know what I'm trying to say? Or destiny. So the way to look at it is, understand that karma is there, but the point is we don't know. Here's the important thing: is we don't know how much heavy karma we have, right? We carry, right, from the previous lives. So that should motivate us to try to change our bad habits of bad temper, and do more good things. So that, as long as we're doing heaven's work, then it's more likely, there's greater chance that the Buddhas will help us, will definitely help us, right? And so that can then help us change our fate a little bit.
Right.
A little or more, or whatever.
I would say for sure, if we are doing good things, but we here define good things as helping others.
Yeah.
Heaven's work.
Yeah.
To a varying degree, our fate will be changed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. We cannot say 100% because some people still pass away, right? Still, I mean, that's because it's mainly due to karma. Heavy karma, especially heavy karma. I mean, it has to be very, very heavy karma, all right? It's hard, heavy karma is very difficult in one lifetime to change all around, unless you do some extraordinary thing.
Heavy karma, when we talk about heavy karma, really it's accumulated karma.
Yeah. I mean,
because our karma does not necessarily just affect us in this life.
Yeah. Of course.
There's possible karmas that will affect future lives.
Yeah.
So, but the idea is that, especially for us cultivators who have this opening of our door, right? Okay, the transmission, we got the transmission. Then we do not, for a long time, we do not have to bear the form of coming down. So therefore, in that sense, sometimes we do end up going in a very bad way. And this is all very seriously ill, whatever, because all that karma that has yet to mature gets all what? Grouped up into this particular time. And so therefore, in that case, the karma becomes very severe in that sense. Okay. So therefore, that's why some of us leave. But the good aspect about it is, like your Kai says, that yeah, guess what? You have no longer that future karma. So that when you do come in, you do have a more of a clean
So
slate.
that means that when one passes away,
Well,
one's death
It's
will
okay
be
now.
more suffering.
Can be more severe.
well,
Can
yeah,
because
like my
because
mom went through a
yeah
lot.
because
Can
again
be paid
it's
one way or the other.
because
Yeah.
karma can be
Yeah.
our future karma because we may still have
Do you
future
wanna
karma
keep
that's not going to
postponing
affect
it?
us this
Or do
life.
you want to get rid
Our
of
karma that does not
once
affect
and
this
for all?
life, which is
You know
true.
what I said?
We
So
can.
it's a question. You know? So if you want to postpone, that you're going to have to come back down again sooner or later. I mean, so you just keep delaying. Now, so the idea is you want to try to resolve as many of the heavy karma as quickly as possible.
Well, yeah, even all
As-
if you
no,
can.
no. Because light karma, it's okay. It's light karma. You know, Buddha has light karma, right? He gets a headache because in some previous life, he enjoyed, he took pleasure in watching somebody beat a fish to death with a stick. You know that? He didn't do it himself. He
I thought he did.
no, he didn't do it himself. No, because that's heavy karma. Because you're taking a life. He just took pleasure time. You know, that's
Oh,
important.
he just watched and
Took pleasure.
enjoyed
Yeah, he
it.
watched and enjoyed it.
And
So
then
we
somebody
better stop
hit
watching
them.
bullfighting
And-
and
I thought
any
he,
of
I
that
thought he
stuff.
did it. I
No,
thought
he
he did it
didn't.
with the
He enjoyed
five
it.
times.
No, he didn't do it. Because that's taking a life.